So about 2 years ago, I was visiting the Philippines, and one of the best food that I've ever had there before, which I've had in Canada, was the Pandesal. What made this one special to me when I went to the Philippines is the fact that you have to actually wake up early in the morning, and there's already a lineup in the bakery. If it's a really good bakery, you have to wait for about 20 to 30 minutes for the fresh pandesal to come out of the oven, and you buy it by the dozen, and that's what you had for breakfast that day. I'm Caballero, and welcome to this video recipe of the ube cheese pandesal. So to start this recipe off, we're going to add in our dry yeast mixture. So we're going to take about 7 grams of our fast active yeast with about 3/4 of a cup of warm water. Now we're going to let this sit out for about 10 minutes until you see some bubbles forming. So give this a nice mix and then just put it aside somewhere. Next thing, we're going to add in our our wet ingredients. So first thing is milk, our butter, sugar, 2 eggs, salt, ube food coloring. Give this a nice mix. And then we'll add in our yeast mixture. Next, we'll add in our flour, which we'll do about 1/4 of a cup at a time until all 4 cups of our flour has been incorporated. So right after, we're gonna take our dough in a lightly floured surface, and we're gonna knead our dough for about 10 minutes. Now you can also use a stand mixer for this process. I just want to make sure that the dough is not too sticky, and you want to roll it up to a nice ball right after. Which you can see right here. Okay, so next we're going to take a container and we're going to spray it with some oil. And then we're going to oil the top of the dough to prevent it from drying, and we're going to put a cling wrap on top of it, and we're going to let this dough rise for about an hour to an hour and a half, or until it doubles in size. Next, we're going to punch it down, and then we're going to cut this dough in half. So we'll work on this dough, this other half of the dough first, and then we'll work on the other one right after. So we're gonna just roll this out to a nice, flat, even surface, and we're gonna cut these guys up to 12 even doughs. Now next, we're gonna take our ube yam spread, and we're just gonna take about a tablespoon worth of it, spread it, and we're gonna add in our cheddar cheese, and we're gonna close this up and roll it out to almost like a dim sum ball, and we're gonna repeat this process for the rest of our pandesal. Then in an oven-safe container, we're going to sprinkle some breadcrumbs on the surface so the pandesal won't stick, and we're going to moisten them up with some water, and then we'll roll the pandesal in the breadcrumbs just so the breadcrumbs will stick on the pandesal. And then we're going to repeat this process for the rest of our batch. Then we're going to cover it up with some cling wrap again, and we'll let these guys rise for about an hour to an hour and a half. Right after, we're gonna take our pandesal on a preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven, and we'll let them bake for about 15 to 17 minutes. Now, when these guys come out of the oven, you want to resist biting into them right away. Let them cool down for about 5 minutes. And what you get is an extremely satisfying bread that is soft and melt in your mouth deliciousness that will leave you coming back for more. Trust me. So that's it. Hopefully you guys give this recipe a try, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Alright, so after about 3 hours later, from start to finish, this is the final product. Alright, I'm gonna give them a try. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Wow. So cheesy.